So we have another example using the intermediate value theorem here. And notice that the question itself doesn't actually use intermediate value theorem. So we have to see a problem like this and know that this would be an application of the intermediate value theorem. And one big hint of that is that it says in the problem that f is a continuous function. So the question's asking for this continuous function f on the interval from 2 to 8, so between 2 and 8 here, what's the minimum number of times that this function has to equal 0? So if we were to plot the points, I think it's a little bit more obvious looking at the graph. So these are the points that are given to us for this function. And if f is a continuous function, we know that somewhere between this point and this point, we're going to have to cross the x-axis because f is a continuous function. We can't lift up our pencil, so we can't go and then put a hole there and then jump over. Okay, that's not allowed with continuous functions. So we know somewhere between this point at 4, 2 and going to the point at 5, -3, we know we're going to have to hit the x-axis somewhere in there, at least once. All right, we also know that's the case between the point at 6, -1 here and the point at 7, 1 here. So somewhere along the way, we're going to have to hit the x-axis again. So somewhere in this interval between 4 and 5, where the function's going from a positive value to a negative value, we have to hit 0 in there, again, because f is a continuous function. And then again, somewhere between 6 and 7, it has to happen. So at the least, it has to happen once here and once here. So the minimum number is 2. Now, we don't know that it's only going to happen twice. We could have a function that looks something like this, and it just happens a bunch of times. So we don't know that it's going to happen twice. I just drew one where it happened like 6 times there. But the minimum number is 2. It has to happen at least somewhere in between these 2 points, and it has to happen somewhere between those 2 points.